So good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's webinar on topic Spanish ransomware attack. So in this webinar, we'll be talking about the Spanish ransomware that happened on November 4th of this year. And we'll be analyzing what is the prime cause and why ransomware have become very frequent in recent times. Also, we'll see some best practices at the end of the webinar. So I welcome you all to the session. So if you guys are around, please grab a cup of coffee, stay tuned and stay connected for the entire webinar because this is going to be one useful session for you. We're going to drill down into the Spanish ransomware attack step by step, and I hope you guys will love it. So stay connected. Please do not go offline or do not turn off your displays. Thank you, guys. So today we'll be looking at this agenda. We'll start to understand what is ransomware, and slowly we will see why this is becoming very frequent. So we'll then understand what happened in the case of WannaCry in 2017 and why businesses are not ready to patch the systems on time and take a very good remedy against ransomwares, why businesses are still becoming victim to ransomware attacks. And then we'll slowly move into the core part of the webinar where we will understand the Spanish attack, what exactly happened, and then we will see some best practices to defend against ransomware. Also, we'll see at the end of the webinar how ManageEngine can assist you in combating against ransomware and keeping your networks secured against ransomware threats. So this is going to be one useful session size. Please stay connected. And let's move into the webinar now. So let's understand what is a ransomware first. Ransomware is nothing but an encrypting malware which encrypts your business critical data and asks for a ransom. So if in case you're not going to be paying the ransom, the data is not going to be retrievable, or else the ransomware can upgrade itself to a wiper and can erase the data, and you will no longer be able to access this business critical information. So this happened in the case of WannaCry. WannaCry just asked for the ransom, and people who paid it, they got the data back. But in case of Petya and NotPetya, the NotPetya, I would say, it became a wiper. The attackers upgraded the malware into a wiper and it erased the data, and Maersk, one of the huge logistics firms, become victim towards that. Now we'll understand why this is becoming very frequent, why ransomwares are becoming very frequent. One main reason is unpatched systems. Organizations are not patching the systems on time and they are being lethargic towards it. That is the one prime reason, because this particular vulnerability that's been mentioned in 2017 is still seems to be existing in multiple organizations, and they are not ready to patch the systems on time. And most of the time the patching systems are manual, and your IT administrators or your IT technicians are finding it difficult to go through all these patching procedures manually. Then unhealthy cyber strategies. So if you're not having proper policies to secure your browser behaviors, your user behaviors, then you're going to be seeing a lot of social engineering or phishing happening in your network. Then hackers are going to go for targeted businesses. They're going to target business, as we saw in this case, it's going to be Spain, and they're targeting the businesses here. So that's why the takedown happened. Then followed by that, you can also see poor cyber awareness, that people do not understand what they have to do when they get faced towards a ransomware. So that is one reason why ransomwares are becoming very frequent. Poor strategies, poor awareness, and unhealthy cyber strategies. Now let's see why businesses forgot about the cyber villain of 2017, which was very huge. Almost 400,000 computers were infected using this WannaCry, and people are still being exploited for this particular vulnerability. Because WannaCry exploited the eternal blue vulnerability which existed in Windows 7 and Windows 7, Windows 8.1 and Windows XP. So these particular OSs were having this eternal blue and double pulse vulnerability which WannaCry exploited, along with the eternal rocks, and the ports were also used for spreading across the networks laterally. So that is one main reason, and WannaCry spread extremely fast. I remember it is like on May 13th of 2017 where most of the machines across countries become victim to the WannaCry ransomware. Almost the count is 400,000 computers were infected across the world. So that number is very huge, and the exploit itself is very huge. So Microsoft later patched the systems and it released the official patch, which organization patched and fixed this particular vulnerability. Now, we understood what happened with the businesses in 2017, and certain businesses did actually patch the systems and they were able to escape the ransomware threats, but few are not so ready or not so cyber aware to fix the patches on time, and that's why I think few organizations are still facing these threats. In the case of Atlanta, Baltimore, or Florida, there were few cases where the vulnerabilities were already existing in the network, and the organization did not worry about patching that on time since there wasn't proper cyber awareness existing in the organization. Now, let's see what is happening with the Spanish attack. So on November 4th, the Spain organization Everis and Sir actually saw this on the systems, on the employee systems. This is a ransomware note. As you can see here, it is actually mentioning their system has been hacked and encrypted. And if you want to unlock that, you need to mail us for the ransom amount, for the ransomware, and so on. So these ransomware notes are popping up in Spain across Everis and Sir organization, Service and radio firm, which is a big names in the Spanish market. So now Everis, an entity data company, and Sociedad Española de Radio Diffusion, a radio network firm, became victims to this ransomware. So I will explain about this ransomware in detail in the upcoming slides. Now let's see what exactly is behind this ransomware campaign. What exactly happens in a general workflow of a ransomware campaign. We are not talking about Spanish right now. We are keeping this very general, and we are talking about the general ransomware campaign. So there's going to be an attacker, and he's going to write some definitions for his own malware according to his demands and targets, and then he's going to deploy this malware using a phishing campaign to a targeted business or to a general open web. So when he does that, any user from our organization is going to download that particular attachment or a file inside the phished email. He is then going to have this malware infected, the ransomware infected inside his machine. So the malware gets inside his machine and then uses the ports, the open ports which WannaCry used, 138 and so on. It's going to use this open ports to spread across the network to different machines. So this is the basic architecture of a ransomware attack, and there are going to be some alterations based on the demand and supply. Like if an attacker wants to go for a targeted business, he's going to make a lot of alterations when he builds the malware and the execution procedures. We can also expect some CNC, the command and control servers, coming in to give commands to the malware. Now we saw about the general ransomware. Moving forward, we will see about a Spanish ransomware campaign which happened on November 4th. What happened is there was a random hacker sitting somewhere in the world, and he sends a fake browser update across open web or a targeted network. So when he does that, that particular browser, let's say Chrome, in this case, in this Spanish case, it was a Chrome update, which was fake. As you can see, this is the file that popped up. And those users who downloaded and updated this file became the victim of this particular ransomware campaign. What happened then? The user downloads the update file and he goes on to install it. So once he installs it, it's actually a JS file, a JavaScript file, gets downloaded, and then it contacts the CNC server to download the Emotet banking Trojan into the system of the user. So once it is being downloaded into the user's system, along with certain exe files which is being pushed out by the CNC server, all this combinedly gets into the user system, and then it commands a PowerShell, Empire Framework PowerShell, which is being used to execute commands and automation tasks and configuration automation configuration management task to fetch or pull details of the credentials that is being stored in the device in the cache memory. So once the framework of PowerShell framework does that, you can automatically get hands onto the host and servers in the organization. So multiple Empire installations, multiple Empire frameworks are being pushed or being executed using the PowerShell, and that fetches the information, the credential from different cache in different systems. So once it does that, it has access to the host and servers. Using the host and servers, this campaign, the hacker is going to distribute the big payment ransomware. The ransomware in the case of Spain is the big payment ransomware, and they are going to use this host and servers to distribute this particular ransomware to different endpoints inside the organization, and that's how the Spanish organization saw this particular node on November 4th morning, and the device were encrypted and the ransom was asked to pay. So this is the overall architecture of what happened in the ransomware attack that happened in Spain. This is also being confirmed using the CCN cert, which says it's actually a variant of WannaCry, which is being used. It's another source of information which is being exploiting SMBs and the open ports 137, 138 for UDP and 139 and 445 for TCP. Now we will look into the best practices to defend against ransomware. There are a number of best practices which is already being mentioned in the internet, but here we'll see something different. We'll actually understand how an unified endpoint management solution can help you mitigate against ransomware. Let me explain how. First practice you need to follow is you need to have an automated patching procedure or patching policies to secure your organization against any zero-day threats or any unknown vulnerabilities. Followed by that, you can also have a configuration system which can help you configure your browsers and firewalls. Apart from that, you can also go for an exclusive browser security management options where you will be able to secure your Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Edge, and more. So these browsers can be secured against any unknown updates, unknown extensions, or outdated plugins. So this is why Big Tamer came into the Spanish organizations, and that's how you can secure your organizations against threats using the browser security management. Apart from that, decentralized systems is separating your organization systems, the critical servers separately. Let's say that particular critical servers are kept on zone Z of security, then your moderate servers, then your not important servers can be kept outside. So you can also use honeypots to detect if any anonymous traffic is coming inside, which will be useful if you're being targeted for DDoS attacks. That is a different case. So now, apart from decentralizing, you can also define something at user levels. You should not give access to all the important documents or all the business sensitive documents to all the users. You should define the user privileges based upon the departments, based upon the roles, and based upon the requirements. Something could be temporary and something could be permanent. So we could define accordingly. You should define policies that should fit your organization's data security, which also comes under data management and security, because there are a lot of data laws that is coming up across geos. First it was GDPR, then we have now CCPA, California Consumer Privacy Act. We'll also be having LGPD, that's something coming up in Brazil. So a lot of data laws are coming up, and you need to have proper compliance to secure your customer and employees' personal data. So apart from all these, even if case you are being victimized or becoming infected by ransomware, you need to have proper backups to get back to your systems online. That is one key point in the best practices. Now let's see how ManagEngine can assist you in securing your organization against ransomware attacks. ManagEngine helps you with patching. So it will help you patch your Windows, Mac, and Linux systems from a unified place in a single pane of glass. Also, it has different third-party applications which will help you update your third-party applications irrespective of your OS. So this can be done automated or in a manual procedure. We also have scheduling and deployment cycles which will help you schedule the patches. So when I see schedule the patches and deploy them according to your convenience. So when we say automator, the patching procedure is going to be like this. Desktop Center will be scanning your organizations for missing patches. So once it finds the missing patches, it's going to download those patches from the vendor website. Then it's going to test those patches in the test environment that you have defined, and then it's going to deploy those patches, those approved tested patches, to the machines that you have been set as a target. That's how it's going to work. You can also go and do some pre and post deployment actions to bring in more control towards your patching procedures. So apart from the patching procedures, which is the key for protecting your organization against ransomware, ManageEngine can also help you with custom scripts for critical scenarios. So in this case, in the case of Meltdown and Spectre, there were critical scenarios where there wasn't any patch available by then. So we gave some custom scripts for our customers to fix things on time temporarily until the permanent fix comes out. So we gave some custom scripts which will be a workaround for your organization to make your organization secure against any unknown new cyber threats. So apart from that, we will also have remote registry configurations, which will help you define or update your remote registry settings across your network. You can also have user and group management, and you can deploy software to your machines either manually or on demand, which is a self-service portal. And we also have remote control and IT asset management, where we take care of your endpoints in a unified way. So this is the different solutions for ManageEngine, which is endpoint management solutions. We have different products that takes care of your desktops, laptops, mobile devices, your patches, your OS imaging and deployment procedures. We can also take care of your USB devices, your browsers in general, and also other things like data leakage prevention, vulnerability management, and so on. So we have different products which can help you actually keep your organization secure. But I would suggest you go ahead and try Desktop Central, because this is going to be a unified suite, and the licensing and is based on the devices and the technician. This is going to be very cost effective as well. Desktop Central will help you secure your organization's servers. It's also going to help you secure your Linux machines, your Windows machines. Windows, when I say, it's going to be XP 7, Vista, Windows 8.1 and 10 as well. It's also going to take care of your Mac OS, Mac machines in your organization, and including your mobile devices, which is irrespective of your platforms. It could be Windows, it could be Android, or it could be iOS. We are going to take care of all these devices unifiedly for you. So apart from that, we also take care of browsers, as I already mentioned. This is using our add-on called browser management, browser security management, which will help you take care of your browsers along with your tablets and iPads. So that is including Android, iOS, and Windows platforms. So we also have some tie-ups with Sony and other Samsung and other device providers, where we will help you remotely control those devices using our Desktop Central solution with our mobile device management add-on, which will help you manage your devices, mobile devices, in a unified way. So this is about Desktop Central. It's going to be very cost effective, and it's going to resolve a lot of problems, right? From everything from your productivity to your cybersecurity, everything is going to be taken care using this particular solution. So thank you for joining us for this wonderful session. You can give us your feedback via survey, and please let us know what we can do in future, what topics we can do in future for better understanding towards the market of cybersecurity. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us.